Well, for the past couple of days, there is no single political party that has been in the lips of political players and political spectators than the party ODM. And this follows the passing of their party leader, Raila Amolo Odinga, and the succession that followed, including the taking over of his elder brother, Dr. Oburu Oginga, as acting party leader right now. And Dr. Oburu Oginga is the person we are speaking to on NTV this evening. Thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you very much, Dr. Oburu, for giving us time. My name is Ibrahim Karanja. Asante sana. Let me start by a very personal position. It is a couple of days since we laid to rest Raila Amolo Odinga, your brother, a man who you described as a twin when you spoke at Nyayo and when you also spoke at the university in Bondo. How are you personally coping with the loss of Raila as a person and also as a party leader of ODM?
Raila, as you say, was more than a brother to me. He was we grew up as twins, because the difference between us and him is only 1 year, 2 months. I was born in October 1943, and he was born in January 1945, which, if you calculate, you'll find is 1 year, 2 months or 3 months. I was quite shocked because I did not expect him to go so abruptly like that. I thought he would be seriously sick and people, and then you see something which you expect is going to take his life. I spoke to him the night before he died, and he was in very, very good spirits. And we talked over a lot of issues. And he was to meet me that weekend. That was Tuesday night.
Yes.
And we were to meet in Dubai. He was traveling to Dubai on Friday. I was to meet him. I was going to Dubai on Sunday, as he was going to be there for about 4 or 5 days. So we were going to meet there. And we agreed on a few issues which we wanted to do. So when I received a call from my sister, Dr. Wenwa, and told me that at 6 o'clock in the morning, that she had received a call from our sister who was accompanying our brother in Kerala, that he had fallen down, that he had collapsed. And I was already putting on my golf suit. I wanted to go and play golf for about an hour and a half in Kisumu. I also almost collapsed. It was a very, very big shock to me when he had collapsed. How? And that he was being resuscitated in ICU. I called my sister. She told me it is true. He has collapsed. And I should talk to our Indian friend, who is right now here in Nairobi, called Baragoni, and ask him, because the doctors who are resuscitating him were talking in Kihindi, and she could not understand what they were saying. But what she could see was that they were trying to resuscitate him. So I called that Indian friend of ours and asked him what is happening. The Indian friend of ours told me that he is in critical condition, but the doctors are trying. So I took off. I took off my golf uniform, and now I was just getting ready for anything, any eventuality, because they had alerted me that he is in critical condition. And after 20 minutes, my sister again calls me and tells me that our sister Ruth has just called and she's just crying. She's wailing, but she's not telling me anything. So I put down the phone and I called Ruth and asked her. Before I asked her, she just told me, "Well, we have lost him. We have lost him. We have lost him." Then I called Winnie, the daughter, and Winnie told me, "Uncle, we have lost the battle." So that is when I almost collapsed when I heard this. But then I said, now I must be strong because I'm now the remaining there as the head of the family. If I also collapse, then what will happen to the others? So I said to myself, let me try my best, even though I was finished. But I said, no, I have to try. And that is how we managed to survive. We have not recovered yet, but the period which my brother put in his will of burying within 72 hours was also too short, but it is also good for the family. Because, you know, this emotion which the death of my brother has brought is so much that when people see you, they literally fall on you and they start crying. And when they start crying, they wear you down because they also bring back all the memories of what happened.
Sure.
That is why I moved out of the home after 1 week. I said, let me recollect myself and now think of what next.
Sure.
Because he has left such a big vacuum that even me feeling, I don't even imagine I can. Mm-hmm. Yes, but my best, I will try.
In your best, you will try. Yeah. And the reason why the death of Raila Amolo Odinga is yet to sink into most people in the country, yeah, especially his supporters and his friends and family, is because through his last days, when he was seeking treatment in India, there were lots of communication. Started with speculation about his state, then came communication. We were always encouraged by those who spoke to him, and they would say, I spoke to Raila today, he is in good mood, in good health, he will be coming back. Members of parliament said this. So his death was a shocker to everyone.
Even the DP, the deputy president, talked to him in my presence. Mm-hmm. In Orengo's office when he came to Bondo. He came to Siaya. And the people there, also SK Macharia, spoke to him. Orengo spoke to him. And where he was not where he went for treatment. The treatment, he was getting treatment in Bombay. That is where he did his treatment, and the treatment was over. So he was supposed to have gone to Dubai. But then there is a Ayurvedic hospital where they use traditional medicine, where our daughter, Rosemary, was treated. They managed to treat the eye and revive it when all the big hospitals in South Africa, in Israel, in Germany, in China twice had all failed. So we thought this was now going to be something final. But she went there and she recovered. Right now she's seeing and she's okay. So we always go there to get recuperation, you know, because they use herbals, food, vegetables, like vegetarians, and they also use herbal medicine. They have a big factory there where they manufacture and also do research. So we go there as a family just to recuperate.
Okay.
So he was there. He was there just getting recuperation. But the main thing which took him to India had been treated.
Are you able to, at this point, highlight what treatment he was undergoing? Because days earlier, you communicated to the country and said, my brother is sick, pray for him. What was the situation?
No, I just said he's unwell, like all human beings become unwell at one time or another, but he is not in critical condition. Yes, it was some clot which was discovered here in the head, and it was being dissolved by our doctors here in Nairobi, but they were using strong medicine called steroid, which was wearing him down. That's why you saw him pulling out of some public functions, including the burial of Dan Blas Otieno. I went to represent him there because he was feeling weak and tired because of that kind of medication. But when he went to India, they managed to clear that clot which was there in Mumbai. So by the time he left hospital there, he was up and about. He was kicking. So he now went just to recuperate in Kerala. He was no longer sick.
For how long had he been in Kerala before his passing on?
This was just about a week, less than a week. After being discharged from the hospital, it was just about a week, and he was due to leave the Kerala on Friday, in 2 days before he was supposed to leave Kerala on a Friday, and he collapsed on a Wednesday morning.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's take this conversation forward, and let me ask you, what memory, what moment of Raila Odinga's last days has stayed with you strongly in this past couple of days since he was buried?
You know, personally, I would just say between me and him, there was a lot of love. And whatever I remember him receiving some presents from friends, or even clothes. He used to, if somebody gives him 3, he will give me 1. Yeah, one of his clothes. And sometimes we wear the same size of clothes. Yeah.
Okay.
Even shoes. We wear the same. And he was giving me those, and we were discussing many things. And surprisingly, I was telling him that there's a few things which are outstanding in the family, including Jaramogi's estate, which we manage with him.
Yes.
And I was telling him that if we don't finish this estate completely and give people their shares, and life is not permanent. Life of a human being is temporary.
It is.
And if anything happens to you or me, or to both, and we all go, these are young people. I don't see them gelling as much as we are gelling with you, and agreeing as much as we agree with you. And there might be some squabbles between them. So let us try to resolve some of these issues. It was as if there was premonition.
Yes.
Because I was the one raising the issue, but he agreed with me 100%. But before we could do anything, then this thing comes and he passes on.
And as we also, his death was a shocker to the country, and more so the realization that he desired to be buried within 72 hours of his death. We saw this country go into, I would say, chaos out of the love, out of the emotion that people had for Raila Odinga. Looking back through these 3 days, from that time the announcement was made by President William Ruto, then a delegation went to India to receive or to bring back his body, the sea of humanity that was Nairobi and other parts of the country, how would you describe it now that it's days after?
Now, before I go to that, I wanted to tell you what happened before he went to India.
Sure.
Because you have mentioned President Ruto, I want to take this opportunity to thank him profusely for what he did to my brother. My brother had told me that Ruto had gone to UNGA, United Nations General Assembly, and that Ruto was coming back, and he was supposed to meet him in State House in the evening. And then I told him that I want to go with him and hear what Ruto is saying about his sickness. And he told me, yes, he will call me when he gets the time, the particular time of going. And then he calls me after 2 hours and tells me that now it is Ruto who is coming to his house at 6, that I should go there at 6. I went there at 6, we waited for Ruto for about an hour. He was late. Then he came, but we were at home, so just relaxing. So when he came, we discussed in details his condition, and we agreed that he must go there immediately because there was conflicting positions taken by doctors in Dubai and here.
Different opinion.
About different opinion, yeah. So he said he even gave his doctor to check on the information, Ruto's doctor. So they told us that he needs to go to India. They have better equipment. They can deal with the issue. And the president took that matter very seriously and organized for his evacuation to India. The next day, by about 4, he had already gone. There was a special jet which took him there to India. And the president took the matter very, 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 very seriously. So I must say I'm very grateful to him for what he did and the action, very, very quick action in this matter, which we would not have managed as a family to act that fast on this matter. We would have taken him there, but not with the speed which was necessary. And he actually recovered from that disease. So you were asking about
I was asking about the sea of humanity, how the country received this message.
Yes.
It must have been profound for you, much as it was a heavy moment, to see how the country honored Raila Odinga in his last days, was it?
Yes, it was. For me, I expected it because I had seen such a sea of humanity when my father Jaramogi Oginga Odinga died. But it was not as much as this one of Raila. This one of Raila was too overwhelming. And first I underestimated I was chairing the committee, the funeral committee, which was organizing for everything on evacuating the body from India to here, and also organizing all the arrangements to go home. Now, that's why I came that day to even identify
At Kangoka Jaramogi, sure.
But that one I did traditionally also as the elder.
Yes.
But when we went to the airport to receive the body, I did not know the sea of people who were waiting outside. And we wanted to ask them to give us time to dress the body. You know, in India, they normally cremate bodies.
Sure.
They don't
bury.
They don't bury. So they don't have very good coffin boxes to place the bodies. So we wanted to have a short period of time, either at Leaf Funeral Home or at the airport, to put the body in order to dress up the body. So I was somehow I was convinced that if I went and talked to the people there and tell them that you people just go to Kasarani or to Parliament, you have already received the body, give the family time to prepare the body so that you can view the body there. When I said that, the rejection was overwhelming. No, and then that is the time I realized that this is a huge, huge, huge crowd. It is not easy to the love they showed for the body. They said they are not releasing the body. They are not releasing the body to anybody, be it family or who. that will not happen. So I realized the attachment, these people had to Raila's body. And I just withdrew back and said, okay, we'll just move now to Kasarani.
To Kasarani,
move with the body to Kasarani. When I said that, they all accepted now very well that we are not removing the body from them, that they are moving with the body to Kasarani.
And these moments that you're speaking about are moments we saw on TV. Our colleagues were there. Myself, I was in Bondo, but I saw on TV how the crowds could not let the body, move. But you had this view from behind the scenes. So eventually, how did it happen that eventually we got the body of Raila Odinga dignified, dressed well for public viewing? Because here, the crowd has gone with it.
Yes, they did it. We now managed to do it in Kasarani itself. Once the body had arrived there, then you saw some tear gas. Yeah. So it was to release the body so that the body could be dressed quickly.
Yes.
Yes, and then now taken for viewing.
For viewing.
Yeah, because they wanted to do without viewing and change it from the casket, which came from India to
the other casket.
Yeah, this could not now be done at Leaf Funeral, but the Leaf Funeral people were there.
Or they moved to Kasarani.
Yes, they moved to Kasarani. So they did it.
Okay.
That's how. Yes, it was done quickly.
The other place you sat in, and a place perhaps you may take this opportunity to introduce us to, was the National Funeral Committee that you sat in with, and of course co-chaired with Deputy President, Professor Kithure Kindiki. We would wait for occasional updates, but you were in this particular room. In fact, you co-chaired the sittings. Looking back, how would you describe the proceedings of the National Funeral Committee, and is there a word today that you'll have for the members of that particular committee?
Well, first I would like to thank them for the commitment. Yeah, because sometimes they used to work overdrive up to midnight, just doing the planning, the nitty-gritties, because there were so many things to be planned. And of course, there are some which they could not get into because it was a state funeral. So, the military have their own procedures.
Sure.
Yes, which they could not get into. But generally, I want to thank my co-chair, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki. He is a very, very hard-working person and very thorough in his job. I want to thank all the other members of the committee who also worked tirelessly to make the funeral arrangements a success because the notice was very short, that some of the members of that committee were volunteers. They just volunteered. We did not even call them. But when they volunteered, they were people of means. They were people who could make contributions, not necessarily materially, but make contributions in terms of ideas. Yes, I thank them profusely. And my opinion about them was very good.
Very good opinion about them. Yes. So that we wind up this discussion about mourning of Raila Odinga, we are still seeing activities happening with the family. We've seen Mama Ida still in Bondo receiving delegations, people still paying their last respects to Raila's gravesite. When is this expected to come to an end? Because I'm sure it must even be draining for the family. It's emotional, being taken back to that moment. Is there a plan on when this is supposed to formally or officially conclude?
No, our culture, we don't tell somebody who wants to come and mourn with you, no. Or you want to, or tell him, get away. And that is why we made a statement originally that everybody who wants to condole with Raila, whether he disagreed with them politically or on any other issues, those ones now we put aside. Everybody who had some feeling, you can disagree with somebody in another level, but you still love him as a person. Sure. Yes, and the politics, there is no permanent enmity. There is no permanent enmity. You don't say that this is my enemy. We are just competing. We are not enemies.
Dr. Oburu.
What I think, to answer your question, that when will it end? What we want the mourning period to end within 40 days, but even after 40 days, I'm sure people will be coming and we shall not be telling them no.
All right, thank you. Was there a confession or an advice or a wish by Raila Odinga about the ODM party and its future, which he told to you as a person in his last days?
No, I don't. We didn't discuss anything about the future of ODM as such, but what I know is the general direction which he gave us as members of the party, and also me as his confidence.
This general direction seemed to be a bone of contention amongst some leaders of the party. You as a confidant, what is this general direction that Raila Odinga gave, which you'd say today, the whole country is watching, that as a brother, as a confidant, as a person who was closest to Raila Odinga, this is a general direction in which you wanted ODM to head?
The coming, now this is in relation now to ODM associating with the government of President Ruto. The whole country knows that we were the biggest and the greatest opponent of Ruto, and we believe that Raila was deprived of his victory. And we had been saying that in Parliament and outside Parliament, And the protests which were there in the country, Raila was leading them, including the Sufuria movement. Raila was leading the Sufuria movement, and he was very brave. Whatever threats he was given, there were even threats to his life. There were bullets shot at his car when he was inside, which what saved him was only because his car was bullet proof. But it was not only that. Sometimes he used to come out of the car and wave to people and talk to people when even the bullets were being shot. So he was very brave, and he said, if he dies fighting for the people, it does not matter. So he was very committed to that. But the reason why we came together to join President Ruto's government was because after the demonstrations which happened, they almost threatened and shook the foundation of the state. And you could see the army was already coming out of the barracks. And this is a dangerous trend in a democracy, which we saw together that this would wipe out all the gains that had been made throughout the years for which people died. Because if you slide into a military coup, all the gains that this country had made in creating democratic space would disappear. Even the young men who were demonstrating would not benefit. They would be also victims like everybody else. Because we said, okay, these young men were promoting the same agenda that we were promoting.
Sure.
They were doing the same thing. But the mere force that was used, and the state also reacted. So we came out, and Ruto approached Raila. He's the one who approached Raila. And Raila could see the sense of coming together to bring stability to the country. And I personally first was not quite sure, but Raila convinced us that if we don't come in, we were going to let the country go into abyss. And he quickly formed a team with whom he moved around the country. He went to the coast, he went to northeastern, he went to all those counties up in the dry area, in the nomadic areas, and Rift Valley and Nyanza and Western. And he was seeking opinion of the people on what our party should do in the circumstances. And he came back and called the organs of the party and informed them of what he had gotten from the consultations he held in various parts of the country. And they all agreed that we join the government in order to stabilize it. And once he brought this matter, he formed a team which was doing the negotiations with the government. And that small team of people did the work which they should have been done. And if you recall, there were arguments. The first meeting which was there was at KICC, if you recall. And the agreement there was, the talk there was on the national national dialogue conference to be held at Bomas of Kenya. Sure. And you remember Kalonzo were there when this was passed. And it was then agreed that was the concept, that we go for national dialogue. But then the president had dissolved the government. So national dialogue is something which takes time, and people can drag on and drag on. Meanwhile, the government had to be formed. So then a smaller group now discussed on the formation of government, awaiting the
implementation of the recommendations of
national dialogue.
Sure.
Yes, but then other people pulled out of the whole process, like in Kalonzo, they pulled out, and they were trying also very hard to pull Raila to go with them. But some of us who had now involved ourselves into these negotiations, we stood firm and said, no, once we have decided that this is the way we go, that is the way we go. And we have to perfect it. We cannot be pulled left and back, and the people will see us as unstable, undecided, and completely unresolved in our actions. So the government was formed, and our people participated. But then you recall our associates like Eugene Wamalwa and Kalonzo Musyoka and Kina Kioni, they left us alone, and we said, okay, if that is the case, let us proceed.
This sounds like a contradiction to what Raila Odinga has said, especially about the formation of the government after the Gen Z protests. Because I remember time and again, the party stated that those who have joined President William Ruto in government have done so in their own individual capacity. Speak about Hassan Joho, Oparanya, Opiyo Wandayi, and all John Badi and Beatrice Askul. What was communicated is that they've done so in their individual capacity. You're putting it to us that ODM was involved in the formation of this government and the appointment of these cabinet secretaries?
Yes, those are our members, and if you recall, those people you have mentioned, Badi, who was in the party, he was the chairman of the party. If you call Oparanya, who was in the party, he was the deputy party leader. If you also recall Joho, who was in the party, he was the deputy party leader. So if you have two deputies, and we only have two, and the chairman of the party going to join, and you still want to tell me that the party is not, that they went there and
they've gone there in their individual capacity?
Yeah. No, that one I leave to you to interpret.
All right.
You can interpret it yourself.
We'll be coming back to issues of the party, but let's go back to your ascension as acting party leader. It came at some very extraordinary time when Raila Odinga had passed on. The party needed this. The party needed stability and direction. But then again, there are those who may misconstrue your appointment as the acting party leader to finally say that this buttresses what your detractors have been saying, that then ODM is a family inheritance affair. How would you respond to this?
Well, I don't know who says it is a family inheritance affair, because this ODM is not Jaramogi's party. Jaramogi's party was Ford Kenya, and that is now headed by Moses Wetangula, the speaker. So this is a party which was formed much, much later, after the referendum of 2005. We decided, because our symbol of opposing the 2005 constitution was orange, and the orange became a movement. And when it became a movement, we decided to transform a movement into a political party. Yes, and if you remember the history, the first political party, it was called ODM Kenya.
Yes, right.
Because the name ODM had been reserved by some lawyer from Meru, who reserved that name. So when we went to register a political party, we were told that name had been reserved. So we had Ford Kenya. But then Ford Kenya, when Kalonzo ran away with it, and we remained partyless for a while. And then we talked to Emanyara, who was owning who had reserved that title. Raila talked to him without our knowledge. He only told us after they had agreed that we now have a party, because some of us had panicked that our party is gone, we have no party. So we then took over the Orange Democratic Party.
Perhaps why those who claim then that this looks like...
No, let me answer the question you asked me.
All right.
I have not answered. You know, the question you asked me whether it is a family...
Inheritance affair.
Inheritance. First, this party has organs. And it is the organs which make decisions. In the interim, before the NGC sits, that is the National Governing Council, there is the National Executive Committee, and with an arm called Central Committee. And that is the only one that the party leader chairs. Then now that organ of national NEC then gives in the interim, before the National Delegates Conference, decisions to be ratified by the National Governing Council. That's why we are called interim, because the National Governing Council has not confirmed us. Now when we were receiving the body of Raila at the airport, and the party had just met at 6 o'clock in the morning, sure, the whole of NEC. And somebody just came to whisper to me, when I was still in shock, that, do you know what NEC has done? You have been appointed as interim party leader. I was so shocked. How did they even think of me? Mm-hmm. Yes, and at this time, when I'm still in this state, but then they told me, you think about it. They have nominated you to be the one. And I feel I am the most sober in the circumstances. I'm trying to sober myself, crank myself out of this. But in terms of experience, which one of those people, other people, matches mine? I have been a member of parliament for this is my 7th term in parliament. And I don't know who else matches that. I think it is only Wetangula. If he had stayed in Parliament, and I think my experience gives me the possibility of guiding this party to greater heights, even if not for long. Yes, until I'm confirmed. Those who want to vie, there will soon be an election. I might decide not to vie. But for now, I am the party leader because the necessary procedures of doing so have been, of appointing somebody have been followed. And I don't think my family should be discriminated against because I'm Raila's brother. And then I fear to take the mantle because it is going to be interpreted to mean continuation of a dynasty.
Yeah. Fortunately or unfortunately, politics is about perception. And whereas your qualification and your suitability is not in doubt, your detractors, because this is talk already that is in the street, would say, why Dr. Oburu Oginga? Is it because he's a brother of Raila Odinga? They would say that previously, we've seen, even when Baba, for instance, went to contest for the chairmanship of AUC, there was a different acting party leader at that particular time in the name of Professor Nyong'o, the governor of Kisumu, and various other leaders who as well are qualified. Aren't you concerned that your appointment, especially being the brother of Raila Odinga, risks placing the party with that perception of, oh, it is an Odinga family affair?
Well, I don't know those who, because in any contest, if you are eyeing something yourself and somebody else takes it, you will always find a reason to say that I should have been the best to take it. And I've told you that those who are eyeing it will face a competition which will come when the National Delegates Conference is called. The position which I have been given is an acting capacity, just as Nyong'o was given that position of chairing the National committee, the Central Committee on acting capacity. So he acted for a short time and left, just like me. I'm not the substantive ODM leader, but I don't shy from being that, because the opinions will always be there. Even if I resign today, they will now say, oh, Oburu is leaving the family mantle. That should have been theirs. The Odingas, once Oburu leaves, the Odingas will disappear. Well, why does Oburu leave it? But if I take it, oh, this is Odinga family. This is, they are continuing the dynastic tendencies. So I think opinion is opinion, and you are saying politics is perception, but it is not perception by everybody, because there are quite a lot of people who are happy with me being the acting party leader.
All right, so will you be seeking this position? Will you be seeking, when the party gets to that particular point where they will be electing the party leadership, will you be seeking to be the substantive party leader and now move from this acting capacity? We have already seen delegates from the 4 Luo Nyanza counties of Migori, Siaya, Kisumu, and Homa Bay. They were in Siaya the other day at your residence, and they endorsed you to be party leader. Will you be seeking this?
No, there is going to be a national governing council, which in the interim, before the National Delegates Conference is called, will confirm those who are acting. It is not only me who is acting. There is the two deputies who are all acting. There is the chair, who is also Gladys Wanga, Geoffrey Ososi, the deputy, Simbarati, and
Abdul Samad. Abdul Samad. And the governor of Mombasa.
Yeah, Samad. Actually, it is Samad who proposed my name to be the acting party leader. So they are all going to be confirmed at that meeting. So at that meeting, I will definitely go for confirmation. But when the NDC, the national government, I mean, when the National Delegates Conference is eventually called, I will not cross the bridge before I reach it. I will decide at that time.
Do we have an idea of when the National Governing Council will sit and when the eventual NDC will be held? Do we have a tentative date?
The National Delegates Conference is not due until January 2027. But the National Governing Council is going to be held on 13th of, are we already in November?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes, 13th of this month.
All right.
Yeah.
About succession in this particular party, and we are seeing what appears to be like a fight or a battle for the soul of ODM. It started from the point Raila Odinga rested, and it appears to be a battle between the traditional leadership of ODM and a new crop of leaders who appear to be yearning to also want leadership positions within the party. Is this something you have observed? For instance, we've seen amongst party members fights. During Raila's burial, I saw allegations of members of parliament saying this one mobilized people to come and, shout his name to appear like they are popular. Is this something that concerns you as an acting party leader right now, that as you're eyeing succession, there appears to be battles for the soul of this party?
Personally, I believe in the youth. I believe in the youth taking over, and that is why I'm called Gen Z.
Youth leader?
Yes, youth leader. And I like the youth to take up, and really I don't see why not. Why not? We also have youthful leadership in our party. If you look at even members of parliament, people like Kaluma, they also mad. These are just young people. They are already Ososi. It's just a young man. These are people who are already taking over the party. I don't see anywhere where there is the old generation discriminating against the younger people. The people like, I think you are talking about Owino Babu. I was with him this morning. We were discussing, and I don't see any reason why he should be isolated. If there are people shouting Babu, Babu, of course, sometimes, there are people who fear them. Somebody, how could you? Babu wants to be governor of Nairobi. Why should he hire youths to shout Babu, Babu in Bondo? Are there voters there, or popularity for what there? Really, does it make sense for him to do that? So I believe that some of these things are things which sometimes emanate from their opponents, people fighting here and there, but I intend to bring them together. I want to bring unity to the party. I want the young people to come up and take over the leadership of the party, and they are already coming up. They are there. So I don't see any sharp division to say that these are the old people with the old ideas going, because You know, we are relaxed. We want this party to be a party of the youth. And if there are any divisions, that shows that our democracy within the party is vibrant, because people differ on ideas, people differ on approaches, but the party gives general direction. So when the party gives direction and you are in leadership position, you should be in a position to expound that party's policy and not to express your personal view all the time. Those are some of the things we are discussing within, so that as a party we show unity. But within our party we have to allow democracy so that people can express themselves freely without any hindrance.
You have introduced the name of Babu Owino, and I remember during the public viewing of the body here in Nyayo, also during that time at Kasarani, and even in Bondo, indeed there is a group that appeared to be vouching for him and celebrating his name. Some may say these were hired people to celebrate Babu. Others may say this is universal acceptance, depending on the different places that they sit. Those who say that Babu hired people to celebrate him at Baba's funeral are saying that Babu Owino disrespected Raila Odinga's final moment. And these are members of parliament within your party. We have not heard the Odinga family say this. You are the leader of this particular family. Do you feel at any point during those last 3 days there was any disrespect by any member of parliament to the process?
No, I don't think so. That would be a risk to any politician. I don't think anybody would go that way, because the wananchi are very emotional, and as a leader, you have to be sensitive about people's feeling. And I don't think there would be any stupid person who would think of disrespecting the family. If there were people who might have shouted Babu, I don't exclude that. That could have happened. But you know, when people get perception that you are being discriminated, that you are being vilified, you know, people always sympathize with the weak. You know, the wananchi always sympathize with the weak, not with the strong hand. And you know, because Babu had created the impression that the party wants to kick him out and give somebody else the ticket, that he will not be candidate. So you will see people sympathizing with him, and that might not be necessarily some people he has organized to shout his name. So that, you know, the wananchi know a way of drawing attention of leaders. That please don't shun the weak, don't push them, bring them in. And people like Babu, personally, I would like to bring him in, bring him on board, let him feel comfortable that he is part and parcel of the party, and that if there is competition, he will be given a fair chance to compete with others, and the best should win. Yeah.
The perception that was created out there was that ODM as a party was warming up to the governor of Nairobi, now that you're already speaking about Nairobi, Johnson Sakaja. And this is borrowed even from how the party leader, the late Raila Odinga, came in to rescue Sakaja at a time of his impeachment a couple of weeks ago. And this is what perhaps creates that disquiet amongst the youth and those who want to support Babu or want to support other members of the party to be governor of Nairobi. As the acting party leader, what is your approach to the governorship of Nairobi in the run-up to 2027?
I don't know too much about Nairobi politics, because I have not been involved much in it. But from the general principle of the party, the party does not dish out positions before elections come. We have two methods of nomination, which are allowed by our constitution and our regulation rules of nomination. That is the consensus and straight nomination by membership of the party. Now, where there is consensus, consensus means calling all the interested parties, those who are interested in the seat, after the party has done due diligence and has done some opinion polling and has some figures to show who among the few who want to contest is more popular, and then the party would like to persuade those who are standing that at the end of the day there will only be one winner. And we have opponents who are also eyeing the seat. If we divide our votes, we are going to fail. So the opinion polls show is more popular. And then so they discuss and then seek consensus. If all of them agree and the party persuades them that let us not use too much resources, and we are from the same party, in fighting amongst ourselves, and then we now use other resources to fight other parties. Let those resources be used to fight the bigger battle than to fight within. If they agree, then that's it. But if they don't agree, then they are subjected to nomination. And that is what I believe should apply to Nairobi. I'm not aware that Sakaja had close to our party and he's a member. As far as I'm concerned, he is not. So I don't know how we can tell our party members not to buy. Personally, I don't believe we should tell our party members not to buy.
This issue of Nairobi is a serious issue for the country and also for the party. Just to be fair, we've spoken about ODM membership and those who intend or who have declared interest to be governor of Nairobi from ODM. So far, I know of Babu Owino and George Aladwa. Very important to mention the both of them. But we've also, the issue of Nairobi, like I said, is a very important issue. Recently, there was that attempted impeachment of Johnson Sakaja as governor, and Raila Odinga and ODM moved in to save him at that particular time. Your sister, Ruth, is among those who critiqued that particular move and said, much as my party leader has taken a position in this, the MCAs of Nairobi ought to have been allowed to go through with the process because it's a constitutional process. Perhaps more of this will come. And right now you sit in that hot seat of party leader of ODM. There is a discussion about stability and also about accountability, which MCAs were trying to effect at that particular time. How would you handle such a situation were it to arise again?
As I told you from the beginning, I don't know the politics of Nairobi much. I'm just speaking to you as a matter of principle. But do you know how we lost Nairobi seat to ODA? We lost Nairobi seat to ODA because as we were campaigning, Jubilee told us that they were giving us the presidency. Nairobi should be given to them. And they appointed, they nominated a candidate who was not a politician. And we were supposed to support this candidate. And that is how we lost Nairobi. Otherwise, if we had fielded our own candidates as ODM, we would have taken Nairobi because Nairobi is our zone. Now I don't expect that to happen again in future. that we leave Nairobi to any other party, because we made that mistake in the last elections and we lost. And I don't believe we should make a mistake like that again. Yes, that is my take on Nairobi. But I've told you that I don't know much about Nairobi politics, so I don't want to engage too much, even to talk more about it.
Fair enough, fair enough. But let's talk about the party. And Raila Odinga was a leader accepted across the country. In fact, in his leadership of ODM, ODM had support in all the 47 counties, from the coast to western, from the south to the north. And with his exit right now, there are those who say that it was Raila Odinga who was holding the entire country together in ODM, and that now the party risks falling into a Luo Nyanza party. You are the party leader when such sentiments are being made about ODM. How do you respond to these concerns?
I don't know who is making those sentiments, because if it is our opponents, that is natural. But if it is our friends, those who wish us well, I think ODM is the only party with established structures. And those places where you say we have support, we don't only have support, we have structures with officials up to grassroots. Grassroots means up to polling stations. We have our supporters there. And this is not a machinery which is easy to dismantle overnight and say that because the leader has gone and the leader had worked so hard to establish a machinery which is admired by anybody who wants to form a political party in Kenya. And post the multi-party democracy, I think ODM is the only longest surviving political party. And we don't intend to dismember it. We don't intend to have it divided. If there is anybody in the leadership who wants to spoil this party, we are going to find a way of asking them to stay aside so that the party can continue to fight for the people of Kenya.
As party leader, how do you intend to still hold those regions, Western, which was, according to how Senator Kajwang describes, where the lungs of ODM are, coast, as party leader of ODM right now, whereas people from these regions may now feel, let's form our own party, how do you intend to still maintain the unity of the party across the country?
We want to maintain the unity of the party by, first of all, strengthening our branches where they are, and also making the party more visible and giving clear directions in terms of policy so that our party can grow from strength to strength. And we also want to continue to register more members so that the branches become more powerful. And then secondly, we also want, we are demanding that we get the political parties funding, because we need funds in order to do this, to strengthen the party. And as you are aware, the party is owed quite a big chunk of money by the government, and we are still fighting we are owed more than 13 billion shillings, which we need to get in order to strengthen our presence and our branches all over the country. And we wish to continue the mantle which Raila left, and that is to keep our party visible, yes, everywhere,
I've listened to you
and united, because there are cracks which were there before Raila left. It is not created after These are rifts which were there, like in Western, which is affecting our presence there, our popularity between leaders. You know, when two elephants are fighting, it is the grass that suffers. There are some two giants there who are fighting. We intend to bring them together so that our party can move on to be stronger. Where we have such problems, we are going to try to bring build bridges between the infighting within the party.
Okay.
Yes, but that does not mean the party is weak. It just means the party needs to just consolidate more.
I've listened to you keenly, and part of the things you've said that you intend to do to ensure the party remains united is to be clear, to give clear directions in terms of policy. So far, today as we speak, there appears to be no clear policy on where ODM is. Even on Baba's own funeral day, we had people say we are supporting President Ruto for 2 terms. Others saying, including the Secretary General, who told you, and that's what Baba said, that the party has not given a position about 2027. In his last days, Raila Odinga was very clear that the person who speaks for the party, the official position of the party, is the Secretary General. Right now, Secretary General Edwin Sifuna appears to be an isolated man in terms of saying the party has not given a position about 2027. As acting party leader, your leaders have already endorsed President William Ruto. They are speaking about 2 terms. Is it 2 terms for you, or is it not yet time?
Which leader will say 2 terms?
Leaders in the party. I can actually mention someone like CS Opio Wandai. You've here mentioned that they joined as...
No, CS is not a member. He's resigned when he joined the government.
So for you as party leader?
Yeah, so what I'm telling you is that people can speak what they want, and people can be excited and speak their own perception of what it is. But the ODM party has a 10-point memoranda which they signed, points which they signed with the order for them to participate, to enable them to participate in this broad-based government. Now, this participation in the broad-based government does not talk about 2027. What happens after 2027? What it talks about is the implementation of those people oriented issues, and once those things are implemented fully, then 2027 will take care of itself. 2027, you will see people jostling, because it is very difficult for any government to be formed in Kenya without coalitions. Even this government, even before we joined it, it had many parties within it. And you will see political parties going for strong formations. You will see many political parties joining those formations. And at that time, ODM will be relevant as much as its strength. If it is weak, if it is swallowed, nobody will want to talk to you. Because people will only talk to you if you are strong. That is why I'm pleading with my people, and I want to unite them. And we want to strengthen ODM so that ODM is relevant. It can take power itself. It can be part of a coalition with other parties, but it will be in government. We want the ODM to remain in government. So because there is no political party which is formed to be in the opposition. opposition, you go to opposition because you are not able to join to form the government in a formal way. So you try your best to make sure you are in government. And those who are saying we don't have a clear position, we have a clear position that we shall, in 2027, when the time comes, either pre-election or post-election coalitions, we shall discuss. But for now, we are concentrating on staying in this broad-based arrangement which we have with the ODA, and the issues we are tackling are also on the 10-point agenda. And we have not moved out of that, and we have not said anything more than that. So those of us who are in government, like Mbadi, like Opiyo Wandayi, those ones, you know, they are now part of the administration. They are not speaking for our party. They can, of course, now the president is their boss. They must speak something. Of course, for them it is understandable. But don't say that they are speaking on behalf of the party, because they had to resign their positions. You know, Wandayi was the leader of minority of ODM in parliament. He had to resign that position to be appointed. And even Mbadi was the chairman of the party.
Party leaders who have leaders in the party who have already endorsed through their words, through their action, endorsed President William Ruto for 2 terms, include your current chairperson, Governor Gladys Wanga. They include the current minority leader in the National Assembly, Junet Mohammed. That's why I'm asking, when you say you're in government until 2027, would you be more clearer to say how are you approaching, how do you see yourself approaching the election? Because yes, you'll be in broad-based government, but the mandate of the Ruto government ends in August 2027, and it lies on Kenyans on whether they'll give him a fresh mandate post-2027. So what is the position of ODM? Is it 1 term? Is it 2 term?
Now, Gladys Wanga, I don't know whether you heard the other thing, but what I've heard her say is that ODM will be in the ballot in 2027. I've heard her several times say that. Even Junet Mohammed, that is what I have heard them saying. But maybe there are circumstances where they have said Ruto is the automatic candidate for 2027. But me, I have not. Maybe it's escaped my attention. But what I know is that these are senior officials of the party, and they must, and what I'm telling you is also the official position which Raila left us in. That is the official position. And so when Sifuna said whatever Sifuna said, Sifuna was within the right to say so, because that is the correct position of the matter. He's not isolated. How can he be isolated when I'm telling you that is the position?
The position which he communicates, which you are hereby telling us is a true party position, is a position that now places him at odds with members. We've seen some members, elected members in whatever position, but within the party of ODM, now calling for his ouster as Secretary General.
No, I don't think that is there's time. This is not the time to talk of removing any member. This is a time to bring unity of the party, and we need all members, including Sifuna, and Sifuna is, in my view, doing a good job as our SG.
So you have again said that, repeated the same position, that ODM has not spoken about the election of 2027. Again, you've said that any party would want to form government. Again, there is that position which you have asserted, that ODM will be having a candidate on the ballot for the presidency. Isn't this sending mixed signals? Because currently you're working with President William Ruto, who will be seeking a fresh mandate again from Kenyans, a second term in that particular election. Are you saying that potentially ODM will field a candidate against William Ruto if William Ruto vies on UDA?
No, I'm telling you that when the time for elections come, you will see parties jostling, negotiating, and either joining coalitions and so on. If at that time, assuming, for instance, if Ruto comes and joins his party, you know, Ruto is a founder member of ODM.
Yes, he is.
And he wants to buy. Will our rules don't prevent us from telling him no. What will subject him to also obey the rules of the party in nominating a presidential candidate. That we could join coalition with any other formation, including ODA. We are going to talk to everybody, including ODA. So because ODA, it depends on how we work to implement what we have agreed. Whether they will be the most suitable partners or not will be seen based on the agenda which we have with them. If we build this relationship and gel well and work together, there is nothing to prevent us from working together to win the next election. If we feel that we were given a raw deal, that we have not worked well at the end of our arrangement, this broad-based government, then we have options to talk to other people. We have not tied ourselves and our hands to an arrangement which now makes it impossible for our party to talk to anybody else in case we are not in agreement with the implementation and we are not satisfied that we have been given, that if we feel that we have been given a raw deal, that our people have not received what they are supposed to get in terms of development, in terms of justice, and so on, then we are free to join with any other formation. That's what we are saying. We are not saying that we are not going to work with Ruto, because he is one of the options which is there open for us to continue.
Not the only option?
But not the only option, yes.
When are you going to sit down and review whether the agreement, the memorandum you have with UDA is being implemented? This is a question I asked Raila Odinga in July, in the interview I had with him in July. When are you going as a party to sit down and review? I know there is an implementation committee, but as a party, Raila Odinga mentioned that you have your own internal ways to review whether the 10-point agenda is being implemented or not. Is there a date that people then would say, then let's give ODM some grace period to work with government up until this time. Then at this time, they'll tell us whether they're conclusively in government, supporting William Ruto or against William Ruto in the run-up to 2027.
We'll review it from time to time as time goes, because we have that implementation committee. We have our people inside there, and the older people are there implementing. They have not been given the necessary support yet by the parties, because this is not a government body. This is a political parties body. And as they have already started working. I met them yesterday. They have done quite a bit of work. And they will keep on giving us report, like they briefed me yesterday on what they are doing. But we shall brief our organs of the party, keep them informed. And then, because our organs meet very often, we don't want to give a time when we shall decide. But so we don't have that timeline.
So currently, what was the update they gave you yesterday, if you're free to divulge, in terms of implementation of some of these recommendations? I know, for instance, the recommendation on compensation of victims is something that was stopped by the courts. But there were other implementations, some that came through bills in Parliament, which are in various stages. But what is the implementation oversight committee telling you about this?
No, the committee is not only looking at the implementation of what we agreed. They are also looking at NADCO, implementation of NADCO report. You remember the NADCO report? And they are just at their preliminary preparatory. They are giving themselves the tools of monitoring and evaluation of all the sectors which they have developed the tools for doing this, the areas to cover, and they have consulted many professionals who have helped them to find the best ways to do the monitoring. But they are still at very rudimentary stage, because they have not been given the necessary tools by the political parties, which includes my party. And we are soon going to give them that support so that they can start working properly.
All right, we are almost coming to an end of this particular interview, and I'm reminded of what President William Ruto said in his tour of Malava constituency in Kakamega, and he said that the only formidable candidate, or the only formidable opponent he would have had for 2027 is Raila Odinga, and now there is no one else within the opposition. You are Raila Odinga's brother. You have worked with the people in the opposition, and in light of these sentiments with President William Ruto, do you agree that Raila Odinga was the only formidable candidate, and that there is no person of means or weight right now to go against President William Ruto?
You remember also President Ruto recently said at the funeral of Raila that ODM will either form the next government or be in the government, but not in the opposition. If you recall that, and I don't want to oppose what the president said, but what I know is that leaders emerge. So you might, we don't underrate anybody. What matters is the policies they are expounding, and in a multi-party democracy, the formidable force that you join, a strong party, which, so what matters should be the party, not the personality alone. Personality together with the party. So some of the people, you might think they are not dangerous. They could be very dangerous if they come and join a formation like ODM, which has structures and grassroots all over the country, and they manage to capture their imagination and the machinery. That could be, so I don't want to comment much on what he said. That is his opinion, but...
That was the president's opinion. Now let's pick your opinion quickly and within very few seconds. What is your opinion of those who want to be president? Let's speak about, what is your opinion of Kalonzo Musyoka?
It is not only Kalonzo Musyoka and those you see around who will be presidential candidates. You will see people emerging. Other people will, but specifically, Kalonzo is a formidable candidate if he is in an organized formation, because he has a block which he brings on the table right away when he's coming to buy. He has that whole community of Kamba, the majority are supporting him. And that means that is already an advantage for him when he has a block which he puts on the table as negotiating.
Would ODM consider supporting him for presidency, or given his historical support for ODM?
No, we cannot support him if he's not in our party. If we can dissolve WIPE and come back and we work together, because we have worked together before. He has been running mate of Raila before. We have no problem with him, except now he has decided to be in the other camp. So, as I told you from the beginning, in politics there is no permanent enmity and permanent friendship.
It was during your birthday 2 years ago when Raila Odinga heaped praises on Kalonzo Musyoka, stating he's a statesman and so many good words, flowery words for Kalonzo Musyoka during your own birthday.
Yeah, he was my guest of honor. Kalonzo was my guest of honor. I'm the one who invited him. Yes.
But ODM, as we speak, would not support him if he does not dissolve WIPE.
If he does not join us, if he's not in our formation, or if we are with them in a coalition, if he doesn't dissolve, but we are them in a coalition, then we will, and there is nobody else competing in our party. He can.
What's your opinion of Fred Matiang'i?
Fred Matiang'i, I know him to be a very faithful civil servant, and I know him to be a very hard-working person. So I know him personally. But I don't know much politics in him. I've not seen much politics in him, unless there are some people who are seeing something different from me. Yes. I've not seen politics in him. He could be a good administrator, but not a politician.
Rigathi Gachagua.
Rigathi Gachagua, I don't know. I've not interacted with him much. You know, I'm talking about Matiang'i because I know him, even before he became a CS. He used to work with us closely in Parliament when he was in this New York State University. Helped us to create institutions like the Budget Committee of Parliament. I used to be chairman of Finance Committee, and we are the ones who created that. Matiang'i was funding us in terms of materials and campaigning and helping us to mobilize their people to support that bill to allow the Parliament to participate in budget making. Parliament used to be just a rubber stamp of the executive in making budget. Budget was being made by government, and it is brought in those huge books of supplementary, of development and recurrent expenditure. And you are supposed to debate them within 1 week. You don't even know how to interpret them.
Yes.
Yes.
Point made. You've said you know very little about Rigathi Gachagua. Let me ask you about one last candidate. What is your opinion of someone who's declared interest? What's your opinion about former Chief Justice David Maraga and his interests for the presidency?
Yeah, David Maraga is a good justice. I think that field he fitted very well, and he did a good job. I like him, but again, in politics, I don't see much of him in politics. Yes, because I don't know how he's faring on everywhere he goes, but personally, I don't see a lot of politics in him, but he's a good man. Yes,
Martha Karua.
He's a good person.
Martha Karua was the very last running mate of Raila Odinga in 2022. She too wants to be president of the country. What do you think of her desire to be president? And would ODM consider, or at least the support base of Raila Odinga, consider supporting Martha Karua?
Well, as long as she's not with us, I don't. The reason, I mean, we cannot consider somebody who is not in our political formation. But I can tell you, I know Martha. Martha to be a very tough politician and sometimes rigid politician. I don't think she has the mantle, she has the influence to capture the country as a presidential candidate. But she's a stunner staff made of politics. She can fight. She's a fighter also. Yes, we have worked together with her for many years.
All right. As leader of the larger Jaramogi Oginga Odinga family, you must have heard the unfortunate remarks by the governor of Nyeri, Mutahi Kahiga, on the death of Raila Odinga and what it meant, to the people he was speaking to. You did not comment about this. This is a time that you have, and these are remarks that angered everyone in the country, and one that unfortunately opened doors for tribal talks from what many observed. What is your response? What was your immediate response, your immediate thought to the sentiments by Mutahi Kahiga?
I thought, Kahiga looks like a mature person. His age is mature. But that type of thought is a bit childish in my view. And I don't want to take even an offense with him because as a leader, he should not be thinking of the death of any person, leave alone a leader of a country, your country. Whether he was your political enemy. As I told you, there's no permanent enmity in politics. So he might be your political opponent today. Tomorrow you are together in another formation. And how will you now fit in when you are together? I mean, how will you feel when you feel those kind of things you do you said about him? Supposing he's your boss, what will you say? So some of the remarks by some leaders at times don't annoy me. I just take it to be childish and I excuse them. Yes, I excuse them. I don't take a grudge with them because I know these are small minds. If you take grudge with them, your heart might stop earlier than the God's plan for you. So I don't want to.
But part of the reaction that came out of Kahiga's unfortunate sentiments was a press conference that was done in Kisumu, and amongst the people who attended was a party chairperson, Gladys Wanga. But she went ahead to say that Kahiga was speaking on behalf of Rigathi Gachagua, then went ahead to say that those people, we now know who our enemies are and the line is drawn. In fact, went ahead to say that those people should not set foot in Bondo. You are the leader of the Odinga family. Is there anyone banned from Bondo?
Nobody is banned, including Kahiga. If he wants to come to mourn, if he's remorseful and he wants to come, I have excused him. I don't have any problem with anybody who wants to come and mourn with us. We are friends of everybody, and Raila was a friend of everybody. You never saw Raila refusing to welcome any opponent of his, even the worst enemies. He was welcoming them. Yes, but when it comes to the field there, where you're campaigning for the minds of the people you want to capture, then there you differ. But you don't differ personally that you want to hurt your friends or you want to harm your friends. So I think me as the head of the Odinga family, I say we have forgiven you, Nani. What is his name? The governor. Kaiga. Kaiga.
As a party that has fielded a presidential candidate successfully in the past 4 presidential elections and reportedly with your victory stolen even at some of these elections, what is the least that you will accept in 2027 if the coalition you'll be in or the position you'll take will be to support President William Ruto, or President William Ruto coming to join ODM or vie, or if he decides to still vie with UDA or any other party that is not ODM? Which is the least position that ODM will be taking? Because it will be, for some, it will be unfortunate for ODM that has been in the ballot and almost forming government in 4 elections is no longer vying for that top position.
I would like to answer that this way. I want my people of ODM to work hard, to work overdrive, to strengthen ODM as a party. If we want to start talking about the positions we are going to occupy there, we are not going to get anything there. It will be wishful thinking, because nobody is going to respect you, nobody is going to negotiate with you if you are a weak party. Our emphasis is on strengthening our party, ODM, so that we can negotiate for the highest position in the land. If we have to go for a lower position, it must not be lower than number 2. So that will depend on how we work hard to strengthen our party, so that our party becomes a party of the people. It becomes a party to reckon with, yes, in the elections. So that's what I'm saying.
If it is going to be a lower position, it must not be lower than number 2. So you're putting it to us here today that ODM, in whatever formation, whatever coalition that it will be in, must either be given the presidential ticket or the deputy president ticket.
That is my take. We should not take less than that. But that also depends on us, our people. We should not be divided. We must continue to be together. We must work hard to make party stronger than what it is now. We make it stronger, and we become a party to reckon with, so that everybody, you will be the best girl in the market that people want to seduce.
Closing comments, Senator, and thank you for your time, but perhaps speaking to the people of Kenya who are watching you tonight, what would be your closing comment to the people of Kenya, and more particularly to members of ODM and supporters of the ideology of the ODM party?
Now, to the people of Kenya, was to, first of all, thank you profusely for the love you have shown to my dear brother, who was your leader, who was your friend, who was your mentor, who was your relative or whoever. But the love, the outpouring love, which is still continuing today, is overwhelming, and I must very, very sincerely thank my people of Kenya. You have made us proud, and you have made my brother also proud where he is lying. I'm sure where he is lying, he must be smiling for the support you have given him in life, but in death it is even more, what you have given him in death. Secondly, I would want to appeal to our people to register as voters. Register as voters, because in a democratic space, the only way you can remove a regime which you don't like is through the ballot. And I believe in the power of the ballot. Let us not think that through demonstrations alone we can change the regimes. The system, our constitution gives us 5 years, which is not a long period of time. If somebody does not work well, you have the power, which is the ballot, to change that position. So our young people, particularly, I'm pleading with you, please, please come out and take this opportunity to register in large numbers. People, you can join any formations of your like. Everybody, including my party, we are going to seduce you to join us. But you are only useful to us if you have a ballot, if you have a vote. So please register.
All right.
Yes, so register as voters. So that is what I want to wish, and also to ask lastly, I want to plead with my people of ODM to remain united, to remain calm, and avoid divisions. Many people who are your protagonists will want you to divide, to start talking antagonistic languages against each other. But please, please, avoid falling trap into those things which will divide you. Sit together and work as a team, as the ODM Machungwa fraternity.
And finally, I'm reminded that the ODM at 20 celebrations are coming up. Raila Odinga actually passed on when ODM was organizing the 20th anniversary. How are the preparations ongoing, and how has the death, of course, impacted those particular preparations? Very briefly.
Yeah, it was postponed because the boss was sick, and now it has been rescheduled for 14th, 15th, and 16th of this month in Mombasa. They are going to happen. There is a committee chaired by Jeanette, which is doing the organization. It is continuing very well. Everything is moving as planned.
All right.
And you remember, it is only Honorable Kalonzo who publicly declined. He said he will not be attending our celebration, though as a founder member, he was invited. Even President Ruto was invited. He had accepted to come. So it is going on. It will be preceded by our National Governing Council on 13th of November.
Thank you very much. Dr. Oburu Oginga is a senator for Siaya County and the current acting party leader of the ODM party, a party that is still forming conversations, and a party whose direction, whose future is right now amongst the hot topic of debate. And of course, for the past over 1 hour, he has been elaborating what the way forward for the party is. Thank you very much for choosing NTV on this particular interview. Be sure to get bits and pieces of this particular interview on tomorrow's copy of the Daily Nation. Grab yours. My name is Ibrahim Karanja on behalf of the entire team that carried out this particular interview. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing.